Welcome back, Tigers! In this video, we're going to take all the hard work you put into building the custom campaign influence models for first touch, last touch, and even distribution, and apply it to every opportunity in your Salesforce org. Your flows can only run on newly created records, but what about records that already exist? And what if the opportunity is already closed? Let's go check out how to modify your campaign member flow and trigger an update so all opportunities display campaign influence data, giving you a complete picture of your marketing impact on revenue. All right, here we are in Salesforce, and our first step is to go into Setup. And we're going to go to the Object Manager. We're going to go to our Opportunity Contact Role object because we first have to create a little helper field for us to be able to query the right records in the flow. We're going to create a new formula field. This will be called Opportunity Close Date. And you're just going to pull over the close date from the opportunity. You'll give this some help text. This is the opportunity close date. This field is used as a helper field in the campaign influence custom model flows. And you don't need this on the opportunity layout. This is literally just going to be used in a flow. Now we need to go to our campaign member flow. Now this is the updated campaign member flow. We found an issue where it wasn't covering all scenarios, so we completely re-architected this flow. If you haven't done the steps in part 4, this is where we cover all of the updates from this flow. We start from scratch. You will need to perform these updates before you can run the mass updates from the instructions we're going to tell you now, because the flow that we created in the original series is completely different than this one. All right, so we're going to add a couple of changes here, and this is only to run the mass update to your records. So we're going to flip all of this back after we complete the mass update. So we need to make a couple of updates. Number one, you want to make sure that this is going to fire when a record is created or updated. You want to change this to run every time a record is updated and meets the condition requirements. Of course, you want to make sure you're running this update off hours. You don't want anybody adding campaign members or doing mass uploads to your campaigns or sending out emails while you're doing this. Now, the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to modify this get records. And we're going to remove this criteria right here that looks for the opportunity to be closed, because we want to create campaign influence records on all opportunities, but we don't want the records to be created if the first responded date is after the opportunity close date. So that's why we had to create that little formula field that's going to help us there. So opportunity close date is greater than or equal to our first responded date that's on the campaign member that triggered this flow. And that's it. That's all the steps that you need to do to this flow. So we'll save a new version. We will activate this. Next, we're going to run an export from data loader. You don't need to do this step if you don't have any campaign influence records for your custom models in production yet, but we do, and we want to start from scratch, and I don't want to figure out reconciliation, this and that. So we're just going to export all the records and delete them, and then trigger our flow to create brand new ones. So we're going to run an export on the campaign influence object. And you can select all fields here if you're worried about being able to put the data back if something happens. Now, I don't want to delete the primary campaign influence records, but I really don't want to figure out which ones are primary campaign influence records and which ones aren't. So we can actually just toggle our primary campaign influence auto association settings. So I'm going to go ahead and not try to filter these, and I'll just export all of them. Okay, so we got all those records. Now I'm going to run a delete on those. Okay, so those have all been deleted. Now what we need to do is we need to export the campaign members that we need to trigger this flow. So we need to export everybody who has responded to a campaign. We're going to do an export on the campaign member object. Then we're going to export the ID field. The has responded. We need the first responded date because we need to sort our list. And then you can include any other fields that you want in here. We're going to look for has responded equal to true. And then you can either update your query here to order by the first responded date, because we want the records to come out in order with the oldest on top and the newest at the bottom, because we want to process these records one by one through our flow so that the last touch records get created appropriately. So you can add in here order by first responded date ascending, or if you're not comfortable with this and you don't trust it and you're probably going to open the file anyways and make sure that it's sorted properly, you can just sort them in Excel and save it. Click finish there. Okay, let's go ahead and open up our file and we can make sure that it's sorted appropriately. And it is. So we've got the oldest on top, the newest on the bottom. Now we're going to change our batch size to a 1. And yes, if you have a lot of campaign members, this will take forever. But this makes sure that your flow is processed correctly with all of these different records. If you have millions of records and lots of opportunities and lots of contacts, it just makes sure that your update is perfect when it runs. We're going to do an update. We're going to select campaign member here. Then we only need to map the ID because we just need to trigger an update to the record. And then if you want to pop over to Salesforce and get a report ready so that you can start seeing the records come in. So I have a report here. The report type is campaigns with influenced opportunities, customizable campaign influence. It is not filtered for anything. So we can see we have absolutely no records in here right now. So I'm going to go ahead and run this update. Okay, and then this is going to process the records one by one, and then we should start seeing records come into our report here. So my report is grouped by contact name and then opportunity name, because I wanted to be able to make sure that when we see people who are on more than one opportunity, their first touch and last touch is correct within that opportunity. While we're waiting for this to update, I can also show you how you're going to toggle the primary campaign influence settings to create those records again. So you can just come here and you can change your time frame, you can change your filter, change it to 190, let it recalculate. Okay, it's done recalculating already, and then you can change them again and it'll recalculate everything for you. So you don't have to worry about that. So now all of our primary campaign influence records are back. Our update has completed on our campaign members. We'll go ahead and refresh this. So now we've got 512 records on all of our opportunities, and we can see we've got our primary campaign sources in here as well. And we can come to somebody who has multiple opportunities, and we just want to look and make sure that they have even distribution, first touch and last touch, and you want to spot check a couple of these to make sure these are correct. Keep in mind whether or not the opportunity is closed or not is going to come into play here, so you will want to add additional fields in here. You may want to add an opportunity close date. Let's see, is that already in our report? Yep, opportunity close date is there. So you might even want to group by opportunity is closed. So that's going to help you figure out if this is running properly. So here's your close date, and then you'll want to check your first responded date to add that in there too. I'm going to move this over here. All right, let's save and run this. Now we have all our dates next to one another. And so you'll just want to come and check here. So you shouldn't see any of your first responded dates after your opportunity close date if the opportunity is closed. So you got to take all three of those things into consideration. Gets a little hairy when trying to check these types of things. Okay, so we have Looks like all of these are correct. You don't care about primary campaign influence for this because that's just going to run based on your auto association settings. What you care about is your custom models here. So if we look at Allison as a specific example, this is a really good thing to catch. See our opportunity close date and see our checkbox for opportunity is closed. So that checkbox is going to indicate whether or not the opportunity is closed based on the stage. The field opportunity close date is reading directly from the opportunity. So you could have a scenario where your sales reps have not updated the close date to be a date in the future. And if you run this mass update, it's not going to catch the appropriate last touch records. So you'll want to make sure that you get all of your sales reps to update their close dates to be in the future if they're not good about this, because you can see this opportunity is still open and so is this one, and the last touches are different. Because in our criteria, we're looking for the close date to be greater than or equal to the first responded date, because you would expect the close date to be in the future or the opportunity to be closed if it's in the past. That's what we were assuming in our update. It looks like our even distribution is perfect. Our first touch is perfect. So you'll want to make sure that you spot check a lot of these, make sure that it looks all correct, make sure nothing went awry, because there's a lot that can go wrong in your flow, in how it's configured, and there's a lot that can go wrong in the dates if they're not updated on the close date. All right, and then once you're done testing and making sure that everything was updated properly, you need to come back to your flow and make sure that you're going to delete this new version that you just created and activate your last version. So you'll just come to your flow, you'll click activate on your original version and delete this version. And then you should be all set. So hopefully that gets you up and running really quickly to get campaign influence records on all of your existing opportunities. That's it. That's a wrap. Be sure to subscribe to Blue Tiger Academy so you don't miss our upcoming series on weighted distribution models. We'll show you how to control percentage attribution, whether it's based on when a campaign touch happened or the type of campaign it was. This will take your campaign influence reporting to the next level. Let us know in the comments below if you have any questions or if you'd like to see a video on a different Salesforce topic. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.